and where we talk about leaders growing into exceptional leaders. For those who don't know me, I'm Christina Hawley. I am a performance coach. I have a coaching company that helps organizations build culture where people can thrive. Now, the first thing that I think is really important is that we need to talk about leadership. If you don't have the right leaders in your organizations where they're showing up effectively, it's directly going to impact your environment. You know, you may have heard sayings like people leave bosses, not companies. It's a real thing. So be mindful of who you have in play or how you're showing up as a leader, because it has a bigger impact than your immediate little world. It actually impacts the entire organization in some way or form. So today, what I really want to talk to you about is 5 ways where you can be better as a leader. So the first one I'll start with is leaders need to be clear and concise about their messaging and their expectations and deliverables. So the reason why this is so important is, if you aren't clear with what the plan is, it really can cause a lot of frustration on your team. Like, people want to be looped in. How do you keep people looped into what your projects are? What are the deliverables? If there's been a change in plan, this is really important in order for you to be highly effective and to be seen in a favorable light. If you are a leader that doesn't think it's a big deal, like, oh yeah, we had to pivot, we had to move, and you're not letting your team know or letting others know, it can really reflect poorly on you, right? A strong leader will always check in with people and kind of let them know what the plan is. Have to pivot? Did we have to move? Is there, other opportunities, other deliverables? And that is key in order to ensure you are showing up well. The second one for you to become a better leader would be you need to be organized and prepared. And what I mean by that is when you show up to meetings, are you prepared? We're beyond the days of just winging it. You may know some of the content, but if you're just going in and you think it's not a big deal, it actually reflects poorly on you as a leader. You should know some information before you're going in. You should have prepared documentation. Maybe you review the data points before you go into a meeting so you can be highly effective and you can show up in a way where it demonstrates that you're organized and you're prepared and that you're taking the meeting seriously. Again, these things make a big difference in the long run. And that's why, to invest the time up front so you can show up well in a meeting, it's well worth it. Okay, the third one would be leaders show up in a way where they're decisive. And what I mean by that, they present confidence. They take in all the data, even intuitive feel, because I believe that you need both of them to be highly effective. And then they make decisions. People are looking to you to make a decision when you're a leader and making a decision confidently. These are really important ways to show up well. Now, if you're not prepared and you're making decisions that kind of leads the team off track, that's probably going to work poorly against you. So you want to make sure that you are aligned, prepared, and confident when you're making those decisions, because people are looking to you to make those decisions quickly and to make good decisions. No one's asking for perfection, but are they good? Are they grounded in some sort of reason as you are leading a team into the next chapter? It's really important because you want to know that you are ahead of the game. Okay. The fourth one would be leaders need to be upbeat and positive. Nobody wants to follow a leader that is horrible to be around, who is a negative Nancy, a Debbie Downer. There is an expectation when you are leading a group of people to be more positive or optimistic, because you're leading by example. You want to show people that when things get tough, that, there is still an optimistic way. There is other options, and that they're not locked in. That's what leaders do. Leaders demonstrate that there's other ways to get through adversity, other ways to be resilient, other ways to pivot, how to persevere, and still make the experience quite joyful, motivating, and inspiring as you're moving into this next space. Then the last one would be lead by example. As a leader, you are leading by example all the time, and people are watching all the time. So can you motivate yourself? Can you inspire? Can you do these things that gets your team excited to work for you? And this is really important. This is a lot of the work that I do, is I help people tap into who they are and understand that it's not just following a mold that says, hey, I'm a leader. It's, you want to be a leader that is inspiring and motivating and just shows up. And it's the way they show up to work, the way they tackle adversity, the way they, get excited by a challenge and they persevere. That all comes from within, right? That is how the individual has a different level of self-acceptance, confidence, and they can show up in a way that's truly inspiring and helps others get to where they need to be. So, that is something that you want to make sure that you're thinking about when you are showing up at work. Are you leading by example? Do you follow the rules that are in place, or do you create your own rules? And you have to remember, people are watching. And if you are thinking that you are above the rules or above the law, then you may have some issues in the long run. People are going to be like, well, why is it not okay for you? But I have to do it. This to me is a really important piece, because it's really about who you are and how you choose to show up as an individual. Do you demonstrate leadership qualities every day? Just because in all parts of your life, not just work, because that is what is going to make you a better leader, because it reflects everywhere. So if this resonates with you, give me a follow, because I share tips and tricks to get you back to your best self.